1 o'clock and we are live, and I'm so excited. My name is Maggie, for those of you who don't know me, but if you're watching my stream, you already know who I am. I am the creator of SWRA, Single Women Retiring Abroad, and I am also a full-time retiree here in the beautiful country of Panama. So I have the chat on, and I am hoping somebody's going to tell me that they are able to see me. If you can tell me if you are watching. Let's see. I'm not editing the channel, but it's supposed to be on YouTube and Facebook. So let's see, YouTube. You know, this technology is always a challenge. Okay. Oh, no, 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 not incognito. It's like incognito. I don't want to be on incognito.
Right.
All right. Anybody seeing me on the stream? Let me know. Okay. Yes, you can see beautiful faces. Hello, hello. Cheryl,
Hello.
thank you so much for letting me know. T. Stewart, wonderful. Frederica from Lisbon. Oh, wow, wonderful.
Awesome.
Mercy Speak. So nice to see you, girl. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay, you guys know who I am. Retired nurse practitioner, been in Panama for a couple of years. So the purpose of these roundtable is really to help people get a perspective on different countries, because you're supposed to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. So we want to bring you the information. You guys watch my videos, you know my journey to Panama. Today, we're going to talk to Greta Cobb. We're going to hear about her journey. We were supposed to have Marcia from the DR, but she had a medical conflict appointment, so she's not able to be here. But I'm hoping she's watching. Hola, Mom Kathy, Catherine from Canada. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. So I gave Greta like a blueprint of the things that we want to talk about. We want to make sure we stay, we have a little bit of a system as to the points that we want to hit. But what I want you to do, if you are watching and you are thinking you want information about Panama, something that I haven't spoken about, Greta, are you able to see the chat?
Rika, I see your
Oh, what I
response.
can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can
Greta.
hear me? Can you hear? Hold
Okay,
on.
yes. Are you able to see the chat? Yeah? You see the
Uh-oh.
chat?
Now, hold on. You just went out. One moment.
Okay. Yeah,
Now
she
it went
said she
out.
was gonna. All right. I can hear you.
Okay. I can't see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find where did you go.
You don't see me?
My computer went off screen. Hold on. Let me see if I can find you. There you are.
Okay. I was
Can you hear
asking you
me?
if you can see the chat because people are saying
Yes, I
hello to
can.
you. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Hello,
All right.
everyone in the chat.
I know I'm going to let you introduce yourself, but I wanted to tell them that we have a format that we're going to follow, and we want, when Greta starts talking, to hit the specific points that we want to make sure you're getting your questions answered. But as we are talking, if you have specific questions, I'm going to ask you to write them down, and when we're finished, when we ask for questions, you can ask and either one of us will answer. Okay. So let's what I had sent Greta to follow. There it is. We're following the format. Okay. What I asked her to do, we're going to talk about, she's going to introduce herself. She is currently in Merida, Mexico. So we're going to ask her why did she choose that particular, why Mexico and why Merida? You guys watch all the videos. You know, everybody loves Merida except the heat, but Greta loves the heat. I know it's weird, but she says she loves it. Okay. And we're going to talk about her process for getting there, right? Hey, Jewel.
Hey, Joe.
And we're going to talk about the transition. You know, what are the things that she had to do? I know what I had to do. I've told you, but I can pipe in. But today is all about focusing on Mexico. Okay. We already had a little chat about her experience and the people she's meeting there. What makes Mexico, Merida special to her? And interactions with the locals. We talked about that, and other, foreigners and other sisters, brothers from, from the West. Safety, which is important to single older sisters, right? And any sisterhood in the area. Because remember, when I talk to you about moving abroad, we talk about the three prongs, three legs that really get people centered and focused on one country: the cost of living, cost of healthcare, because we are women of a certain age, and the third one is the presence of an expat community, because you don't want to be going someplace where you by yourself. That's the recipe for disaster. And the last thing I'm going to ask her to do is, would you recommend it? Now, she hasn't been there that long, but sometimes you can experience a lot in a short amount of time. So you would say, well, you know what, I thought, but maybe not. So this is the kind of thing that we want to know about. All right, Miss Greta, you go ahead and introduce yourself to the sisters.
Okay, beautiful sisters. My name is Greta. If you want to go on a professional terms, they'll call me Dr. Greta Cobb, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Just call
Yes,
me
she's a
Greta.
PhD.
Yeah, just call me Greta, because some people have a hierarchy and treat people differently when they want Dr. Greta. What does that look like? That don't even sound like me. But call me Greta. I've been in Merida since February 19th. What brought me to Merida was in 2020, I had 3 strokes, 2 in the brain, 1 in the eye after taking the vaccination. I knew immediately something was wrong. It entered into my arm, and that pain lasted in my arm and my nervous system for an entire year. I felt pain every night. It felt like a needle was stuck in my arm. I didn't know what to do. I knew I shared with Maggie on April the 21st, I had gotten my approval for my dissertation. I had written my dissertation while I was homeless. And in between that time, from homelessness to then a job, I secured a job with the FDA in Washington, D.C. I was a project manager. In between that time of doing the dissertation, I persevered. I was determined to go from one state to another. We do not have to be stuck in the states of survival. I was in that state of survival. You cannot create in survival because you're focused on surviving. From homelessness to writing a dissertation during the dark night of the soul. All of us will experience a dark night of soul. Mine just happened to be homelessness. While I was in that state, I asked myself these questions. Greta, can you breathe? Yeah. Greta, do you think you can find a couch you could lay on? I did. If I found a couch, I knew it was going to be all right from there on. And it was okay. I ended up with a great job at FDA. And then after that, another dark night of the soul was when I had the stroke, health crisis. But oftentimes it's going to be the health crisis that's going to bring you to clarity of your life, which could be your purpose. You just have to pay attention. I leaned into, okay, I woke up, couldn't see. What was the next thing? Doctors didn't know what to do. They were talking about death, talking about, well, what do you eat? I said, I eat blueberries and oranges. I walk 5 miles a day. Well, what did you do? I know what was happening. I had stress. I had stress from my job from the FDA that I was working 18 hours a day. I had stress about paying a rent, $2,200 a month. And how am I going to make these meet? What's going to come out this paycheck, this first paycheck, first part of the month, and then what's going to be paid the last part of the month? I had stress about completing my dissertation, of which I did. I had stress about life. I was single. No cat, dog, not even fish, y'all. Not even a fish. Not even a fish. No boyfriend, nothing. It was just me and my work. I was so invested in work that I wasn't living. I was just existing. I was just waking up, not even experiencing life. And all that stress was in my nervous system. You cannot live this beautiful life embodied and surrounded by stress. The stress will go in your cells and choke the life out of you.
Yes.
And I tell you that the stroke with the blindness has been the greatest gift that the divine has allowed me to have.
Oh.
Don't make me cry.
Yes, I know. Woo.
Baby, I am so happy that I gave myself this gift of coming to Mexico with financial limitations, with mobility limitations, and with direction. God, what am I going to do? Before I left, I remember sharing with my beloved church, Enon Baptist Church, sharing with them, God calls us to go to sleep. Greta, what you talking about go to sleep? Go to sleep. Turn everything off and go to sleep, because it is in sleep that he seals, and you look it up yourself. It is in sleep that he seals his instructions to you. So I went to sleep. I couldn't stay in perfect sleep and perfect rest, but it is in sleep that's going to heal you. I knew that if I could get to sleep without worrying about the planes, without worrying about the gunshots, if I could just tell my body, just sleep, rest in that space, in that space of healing. It is in that space where you know nothing, in that space where everything will unfold for you. So I was sharing with Maggie that currently I'm living in the unknown. I chose Merida because of the heat. And they said the heat here is ugly. Well, I want the ugly. I came here. I came here in June, baby, doing the ugliness.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm telling you, it was in June in that heat, that first day, I said, I'm coming back here. Because while I was in the States, I wasn't sweating, you guys. And if you know anything about your body, you need to sweat.
You need to sweat.
You need to sweat so your lymph nodes can clear out. So I wanted to stand and walk not long in the heat so I could sweat, give grace and thanks, be in meditation, relaxation. I'm not going out anywhere. And then I come back in and I sleep. That's all I do on a daily basis, because I need that for myself. And what I found, the people are so gracious.
So, Greta, so you chose Merida because it was warm.
I chose Merida because not that it was warm, y'all, it's on fire.
But had you considered other places to
Yes, I
expat
did.
to?
I did. However, Merida was closest. I knew it was 2 hours away before we had all this political
Okay.
confusion. Merida was 2 hours away, and it's one of the easiest places to get to.
And where was home? Where was home in the U.S. for you?
Home is Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm telling you, I saw the difference the moment I boarded the plane. The moment I boarded the plane, I was in tears. Everything, when you decide to do something, everything will come against you, so you won't do it. Persist anyway. Persist, baby, because the week before I went, 3 planes went down. If you all remember.
I remember. Yeah.
I was flying the next day. The next day, I'm sorry, the next week. Was I scared? scared. I called everybody, put me on the prayer list. 1-800, put me on the prayer list. 1-900, put me on the prayer list. 100, put me on the prayer
That
list.
plane will not drop.
911, put me on the prayer list. I called everybody. Say, pray for me. Tell them everybody. My goodness. When you move through the space of love, everything else dissipates. All the anger you had, all the contentions that you have with other folk, it dissipates. Everything is alchemized and it dissipates. It doesn't matter. Because I thought about if I'm on a plane and I don't get to my destination, will it matter?
Okay. So you chose Merida,
Yes,
and the stress kind of was a big factor in
the stress
getting
is.
to the place where you made the decision to move.
Yes, the
Had
stress
you
of the
made
food.
contact with people on the ground before you got there?
I,
People in
I,
Merida?
yes, I met Heather. She has a YouTube channel. I create my path, and I
Okay.
knew I knew she was healing her body, and I collaborated with her. Collaboration is key. I collaborated with her way before I was coming to Merida.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I knew because of my personality that once I got here, I was gonna make friends. There was no problem.
So that's
And
easy for you.
yes,
Yeah. It's a little harder for some sisters.
yes, it's a little harder for some sisters, but I will share with you if you just smile wherever
That's
you go.
yeah.
You will greet a friend and you will find yourself. I greet everybody and I don't let anyone eat alone because isolation is sickness, y'all. And I remember how, as Americans, we used to treat Mexicans when they came to the United States. My heart is humble. I have so much compassion for them. So here I am years later in my senior years coming to Mexico looking for their help, looking for their love. And they embrace me as a sister.
Okay, so my audience, most of them are a little bit older, and people are on or past retirement age. Are you past retirement age?
I don't know what retirement age is. All I know, I just didn't have a job anymore after I had a stroke. So, guys,
So that helped make the decision
yes,
here.
being transparent. So I was the I would say norm is the norm is in the United States after 60, you're supposed to have a 401k. You're supposed to have retirement plans. You are supposed to have it all figured out. But guess what? I didn't have it all figured out. Life happened to me early and that E never came back to life. It just kept lifing. Things kept happening. Not only was I homeless one time, got a job prior to the FDA, then the CEO came in and said he wanted his old staff. Just when I thought I had it all together and had a job, he cleared all of us out. He said, I'm firing all of you all. I want my old staff. How do you explain to your family, to people after that you told them you got a job, but the next following week you don't have a job? Can you see the stress from all of that?
Oh,
Can
yes,
you
I can
see
feel it.
Yes, can you see the shame and all of that? How do you explain to people? Could you borrow this so you can get here to there? I no longer allow people to tell me you must have this emergency fund or this. You must have because their must have will not be your must have.
That's true.
The
That's
the pertinent must have is you must survive. You must get from point A to point A point one, not A to B, A point one. Breathe and get to the next. If there's a woman out there and you get a diagnosis from the doctor, hear the diagnosis. That's what they see from right then and there, but that's not your truth. Know the truth of you, that this full body, we can heal ourselves in our thinking,
true.
in our being, in our speaking, in our loving. We can heal ourselves through our own food, our own culture, through dancing, through laughing, then letting go and doing things differently. And that's what I choose to do.
Okay. All right. So, things happen in your life, the job loss, the medical issues. kind of pushed you to consider moving abroad.
Yes.
What was the process like with your family, telling them, and how long from the, did it take you to come to that decision that I'm leaving? For
Yeah.
me, I tell people I came to see the Panama Canal and fell in love, but I wasn't planning on retiring to Panama. When it was time for me to retire early, I went to Africa, then I came back to Panama. It was like, yes, Panama, Panama, Panama. So that's like a good 3-year process. What
Yeah.
was the process like for you from decision to actually doing it?
My goodness. From the decision, I owned the decision that I'm leaving the country. I owned that. I did not know how. It's not your, when you make a decision, it's not your business to know how. God didn't tell you to know how. God didn't tell you to know how. He will
Yeah,
whisper plans in your ear. It's not your business to know how, because in our human form, we're always trying to figure it out. That's stressful. So
yeah.
what God is trying to do for you, release the stress, baby. So I stopped watching TV. I started reading books and getting into my peace before I got to Mexico. I got into my peaceful state and I began to see myself here before I was here. I saw myself sitting here, sleeping. That's all I want to do first, to heal my body by sleeping. I just saw myself. Now, in order for you to be successful, there will be bridges of incidents. Things gonna keep coming up against that wall to let you know you're not doing that. That's not gonna happen. You will have a. You're not gonna always have a um be shot to success. Success comes with little holes in it. You got to go bump to bump to bump, but can you persist?
Okay, your picture's frozen.
My picture's frozen.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
And
Wait a minute. Y'all got I put,
Sherilyn just told us, yeah, your voice, we can hear you, but you're frozen.
can you hear me now?
We can hear you. You
Can
just
you
your
see me?
picture is frozen.
Oh no. Oh, should I keep on going?
Okay, there's
I
nothing you
can.
can do on your end. Let's see.
Nothing.
Video. Let's see if we got you back.
Nothing.
Yep, it's still frozen.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, mine is good. Audio is
Okay.
good. Okay. I don't know why you're
I
frozen,
don't
but
know why either. I didn't do anything,
you
but it's
didn't do anything. Are you still using the your things in your ear?
no, I took them out. I did not want them to be a problem for the channel.
Okay, yeah, because it was a little bit difficult to hear you, but you're still frozen. I'm not sure why.
Well, you know what? We're gonna keep on going. Can you see me now?
We can see you. You have a picture of you up there, but we can't. It's not
Okay.
moving.
As long as they can
Okay,
hear
they
me.
said as long as I can hear you, it's okay.
All
So
right, Zenobia. All right, people. I'm gonna keep on speaking.
thank you so much.
Thank
But
you so
was it
much.
hard for you to tell your family? What was that like?
Um, I felt I'm the type of person that I believe in vibration. I believe
Mm-hmm.
in energy, and I believe in how should I say? I believe in vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So before I could even tell my family, there were clues that I was not satisfied with living in the United States.
Gotcha.
There were clues between me and my family. I was living with my sister. I just did not want to be a part of the foolery any longer.
I hear you.
I do not, there was a time that oh honey, I love to look good. I tell you, I love to go shopping, but all of that dissipated. I didn't want to go shopping. I did not want to go out. All I was focused on was preparing and healing my mind, body, and soul. Because what came with this stroke was shame. I
Mm.
had shame, and I felt it when I was around my family, and they knew shame about living on Social Security, shame about having a stroke, and the shame about being blind as a Black woman.
Now, isn't that crazy? Stay here for a little bit.
Hmm.
To feel shame for something that happens to you through
Yes.
no fault of your own. That is an added,
Yep.
burden that you put
Yes.
on yourself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my sister, I feel for you.
Yes. You
That's
did.
a terrible
Yes.
extra burden to carry.
Yeah, it is.
Extra.
But are you gonna what I had to learn was I gonna take that in and hold on to that pain because it was painful to feel?
Mhm.
Or was I gonna alchemize it into love and live from the heart space and love them anyway? Because my goal was Merida, Mexico. And I'm telling you, it was hard, it was hurtful. At one point, I had them ask that they wanted to purchase an insurance policy on me. So they was betting on my death, not betting on my life.
Oh my gosh.
It was hurtful to hear, but then I had to recognize they were in a state of not knowing who they were. And I knew who I was. So
Wow.
I knew that I had to prepare even more so in my mind and not pay attention to negative responses. I had to pay attention to what I wanted more than what was being said to me. I had to pay attention to my desires and could I lean in to my desire, which was Merida, Mexico,
Right.
then leaning in and being pissed off about what was going on. I'm telling
And
you, it was.
increasing your stress.
Yes, and thereby keeping you in stress,
Yeah.
keeping you from receiving your healing. But I
Mm.
knew if I could have a taste of healing, I'm going to be on fire.
Mhm.
I had that taste of healing. I went to a Joe Dispenza workshop. And before the workshop started, my whole right side was healed. I did
Really?
nothing. I did nothing. I could not move my arm, could not move my hand. I had problems walking. And I tell you, the only thing I did was walk into the hotel room in Florida, in Marco Island, Florida.
Mm.
Walk into the hotel room during broad daylight on the beach. Walk into the hotel room and go to bed. I could not understand why I was so sleepy. I kept waking up every 3 hours until at 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. I woke up, decided to go to the bathroom. And normally, when I would go to the bathroom, I had excruciating pain of the movement. I woke up and I couldn't find the pain, y'all. I couldn't find the pain in my hand. I would wake up every morning and lift my hand and say, God, I thank you that I can move my fingers, that I can open my hand up, that I
Wow.
can, ooh, excuse me.
Oh. I feel you, my sister. Mm-mm-mm. Wow.
Whew, to be in pain,
It's okay.
to be in pain. And, and then you wake up and say, wait a minute.
Where's the pain?
You get so used to the pain that you wake up and you say to yourself, I know I would look at my hand and stretch it out and I say, God, I thank you for this pain. I thank you that the pain lets me know that I could feel. But then I ain't feel no pain.
Wow.
Woke up and said, where the pain at? I moved, I touched my arm and said, where the pain at? The conference had not even started and I couldn't even find my pain on the right side of my body. Guys, I could not move my leg without pain, could not move my arm and my hand without pain. The pain on the right side of my body was gone. However, what was still here, I was still blind, and that was on my right eye. I said,
Okay.
well, why did that remain? Spirit, Spirit
Yeah.
does everything perfectly. My right eye had to stay the way it was. So when I came back to my house and had that disability exam, it had to show that I was blind and not that I was healed. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
Do you get what I'm
I
saying?
got you, sis. Wow.
I look
Mm-mm.
at everything you're going through, document everything. Don't begrudge anything
There
because
is
it's
a purpose for
part of
everything,
the
right?
process. It's a part of the process. I gave grace to myself. I had to learn how to give grace to myself in the process of what I was going through. Um, to get from point A to point B to get to Merida. I
Yes.
booked my ticket because I waited a whole year to have my disability exam. I was not healed all the way. I was healed on my right side of my body, but my eye wasn't healed.
Your eye. Hmm.
I couldn't understand that. It took a whole year to get the disability exam. Well, when they finally reached me, the exam was the day before I was to leave the United States. I had let go of worrying about when am I going to get the exam. I was going to let go of the disability. When you let go, that's when things open up because I got an email. I got a letter, I'm sorry, saying your exam date, it was the day before I was to leave.
Oh my goodness.
Had I been healed, I probably would not
Wouldn't
be
have
approved
gotten
for
that.
disability.
Oh.
When I saw that, I said, my God, what is going on? I said, my God, I just said thanks. And I just continued packing.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
I was leaving tomorrow. I was so excited. And I said, okay, I'm honing in on listening to everything that's happening to me, how it's happening. Now, the man said, but I see blood in your eye, in your left eye. He
Mm.
said, I say to him, well, is that a problem? Does it mean I can't get on the plane? Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're saying?
I didn't
What
ask
did he,
about the blood, y'all. I asked, could I get on the plane? He
what did
said,
he say?
he said yes. And I just walked out. I said, I'm going on the plane because
That's what I wanted to hear.
I already declared that I am healed. I'm in the process of I'm healed while healing. I'm in the process of it. You have to talk to your body. I was talking to my body, talking to my cells, and telling my cells, you're going to heal. We're on our way to Merida. You're going to be all right. You
Mm.
just have to get out of the environment of the
Yeah.
stress. I
Yeah.
had to get out the environment of knowing that it could be possible. It couldn't be possible in the United States, but it is possible.
It's possible and many that. All right, sis. Let's
Yes.
do let's do the same thing you did last time. Let's go out, let you go out and come back in.
Okay.
So we can see your little movement in your face. Now you're
Oh,
frozen
am
in
I?
time.
Okay. I'm going to go out and come back in.
Yeah, go ahead and come back.
Okay, how did it? Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna go out. Leave site.
Yeah, the same way you did last time and use the link to log back in. There you go. Well, guys, I mean, Greta, we connected over the Sunday lives, when I do the cooking show on Sunday, and she's there pretty much. And I think she, like everybody else, she watches a bunch of creators. She watches Rick and Halisi, so she's in their comments too. But, when you see people, you just don't know where they've been, what their story has been. And there are some women who are expats. Listen to what this poor woman went through. I mean, two strokes, blind in an eye, mobility issues, but she still did it. So that's why when I do a video and I said to people, yes, you can, sometimes the limitations are things that we put on ourselves, that we speak to ourselves, we tell ourselves. You can either speak life into you, you can speak death into you. That's why your lips, you got to be real careful what comes out of it, because that's why some things I'm like, I'm not gonna even utter those things because I don't want to wish it. Now this big thing, and when you're looking online, what is it, affirmation, and you got to speak things. I don't get into all that, but I do know that if you keep speaking negative to yourself, you're going to remain in a state of negativity. So you want to always constantly speak positive to yourself. But while we're waiting for Greta to come back, does anybody in the chat have any questions about Panama? I've been here a couple of years. I don't call myself an expert about Panama. She is truly inspiring, Terry. because we just don't know what people have been. And sometimes you think your situation is the worst. And I keep telling people, you need to talk to someone else. You realize their situation is worse than you and they're thriving. So what's wrong with you? What's your excuse, right? All the best to you, ladies. Greeting from the Philippines. You're all badass for the courage and strength. Thank you so much. But I think now, in the time that we're living in, it really requires a lot more. Can you see me or do I need to back up? Okay, Greta, I don't see you yet. Hold on. Um, yeah, I got to bring you in. All right.
Can you hear me?
Greta, we can hear you. We can see you.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. That's wonderful.
Thank you to
The
everyone.
ladies, you're inspiring. You were talking about
Thank
the
you.
process and how, with your family and your determination to get here.
Yes.
So tell me about the prep to exit, to get out, what you did with your stuff, your house. We want the details because I know what I did.
I had nothing. I was living with my sister.
Okay.
So once you make the decision, the universe will conspire everything for you to make it happen. I was living with my sister, and I'm telling you, I was determined not to hear anything negative. I was not speaking negative to myself. I was not allowing anything negative to come in my ear space. I was not saying anything negative to myself because I wanted to heal. And I knew I was coming to Merida. I was getting Social Security. I didn't know what else or how to make it happen or how to pay for the ticket, but I knew I was coming to Merida. Make the decision. It is none of your business when.
She's badass.
Let me say this. You need to go to sleep. When in scripture, Mary said, Lord, I can just imagine her if it was me, but it wasn't me. Thank you, God. Mary said, Lord, how could it be? Seeing that I've been with no man.
With a man. Mm-hmm.
I ain't been with nobody. How can it be that I'm going to be healed of blindness since I do not have the scope or have not heard the testimony of anyone receiving their sight? How could it be that I'm going to experience getting a ticket coming to Merida when I didn't know anyone that went through the same thing that I went through? So I just had to accept and believe that this experience was created expressly for me. Nothing is working against you. Everything in your life is for you, even the mistakes, even the ugliness. There's no such thing as bad. Because scripture says all is good. All is good.
So it wasn't.
It's your perspective.
Okay. I'm sorry. So it wasn't hard for you since you were not, weighted down with stuff, having to get rid of stuff. So it was a little easier.
So before I went blind, girl, I had some stuff. I had a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment in my Owings Mills community, and it was gorgeous. I had it laid out, had my plates, had my rugs, I had my bed. It was strange. I kept sleeping on an air mattress because I said I want to be able to move in 1 hour, if that makes sense to you. I could not understand that. All I knew that I wanted to move quickly. And when that time come, I will be able to move quickly. I had books, and I love to read. I had over 1,000 books. But from the time I became without sight until now, I'm telling you, I still have some books, but I knew that the time was coming upon me where I was going to get out of the U.S. And I began to give things away, gift things to people. I just come over my house. We would have dinner. I would share with them, and I would give them bags and bags of stuff. I would get rid of this stuff. I said, I don't want to be attached to anything holding me from my dream. Honey, next thing I know, I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom house with my girlfriend's sister. And I'm sorry for the noise, y'all. They lost water here. And so they're trying to fix it. I had let go everything. I donated my books to libraries, to anyone that read books, to churches. I donated my clothes to my sisters and to people who loved what I wore. I just gave it to them. All of my shoes I gave away except for 4 pair.
Wow.
All of my handbags, all of them except for 2, I gave away. And I mean, I didn't have designer handbags. I like artisan things that are made by people, by their hands and love. I had unique things. I got rid of everything because I was preparing my heart and space for a new place. I was preparing my energy to be expanded.
I'm telling you. So, how long did that process take? Was like a year or a few months?
It took a few months because when I decided a thing, I'm going to go all in. There were times where I spent up all night long. Um, I had 52 boxes in a little room. When I say I got rid of all of them, my knickknacks, everything, I got rid of them. I had beautiful plates and napkins, I got rid of them. I had beautiful towels, I got rid of them. I love bath cloths. I got rid of my bath cloths, honey, my beautiful bath cloths. I got rid of, my clothes. I could just feel it. I could just feel it. My clothes, my beautiful clothes, and my shoes. I was holding on to some pantyhose, y'all, that were unique. I got rid of them. I got rid of my handbags, some earrings, honey. I had unique jewelry. I got rid of that. I got rid of, see my glasses? I got rid of all my other stuff. I had nails. I bought nails, different colored nails to match my clothes. I got rid of that. I had unique rings. I had unique earrings. I had
Your
unique
clothes
glasses. I got rid of all of that. I did not want nothing to hold me
to
down.
hold you back.
Mm.
Woo!
To let go. You don't know the freedom to let go of
Yes,
stuff.
I do.
Stuff.
Yes. Well, that's
The
amazing.
energy would come in the room. I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I'm free. I don't have stuff."
You felt
Long-
lighter.
yes, long as I had enough underwear. Then one day it came to me, Greta, why don't you just pack so you just have enough for 10 days? I said, I called
Mm.
my girlfriend in New Zealand. She only wanted me to bring 1 suitcase. I said, well, I can't. If it was big, I could, but I have 3 suitcases. I looked at all of my stuff, and in 30 days, I got rid of that stuff. And once you make up in your mind what you're going to do, it will
Yeah.
happen. I
Yeah.
didn't put a date on it, but I got rid of it. And I'm telling you,
Okay.
it was so free. It was so
That's
freeing.
good.
My
All right.
books, I gave my books away to churches and to libraries and to students.
Library.
I bought my
Wonderful.
paper books here. My most important books, my Dr. Joe Dispenza books, I have here. And I kept some knickknacks that I can post around. You got this. Life is but a beautiful gift. Because I want things like that around my house to encourage
Yes. For the
myself.
positive energy. Yeah.
Yes, to encourage myself when I'm feeling some type of way. I give
Yeah.
myself that. I put on a record. As long as that record is playing, it's like my James Brown record, I will let that play or I'm recording. And then when the recording goes off, I'm okay. I
Okay.
dance it out. I scream
Hey,
it out.
whatever works.
Whatever
All right.
works, we're going to do it.
All right, sister. We had a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
One, somebody asked if you've ever considered Panama.
Yes, I did consider Panama. Panama is on my list. And in August, as I was telling Maggie, when I leave here, I will be in Panama.
All right, so that leads me. I know Terry has a couple of questions, but that leads me into the visa thing, okay?
Yes,
Because many of us watch Stephanie Perry, and we know that recently she and a few ladies went to Mexico and got residency based on some weird things that you had come in within 2021, 2023. But anyway, so what was your process to obtain visa? Because that's important. We know
that
what
is
we do
important.
for the
That is
pensionado.
important.
It's easy and straightforward, but Mexico has a few different options. So, what was your option and process?
Be open to change. My process was this. It was this. I purpose. I came here in June. It was my
Okay.
express purpose that at the end of August, I would stay for a couple of more, stay over my visa, and go to the R&E office, go to immigration office and say, I'm over my 180 days and get the, I guess the R&E. Well, that's no longer that way of getting your, uh, what is it, temporary citizenship. That is no longer. They dismantled
Residency.
residency. They dismantled that. So I
So
was,
that was the one you could get. What was particular about the RNE?
yes. What was particular about the R&E, you did not have to have financial requirements. You could be
Okay.
zero,
Okay.
just had a desire to come here and
Okay.
been here twice. So I was here in June, and then my
Mhm.
twice was here, and then you had to stay in the country. That was my plan. So
Okay.
my plan disrupted.
So they cancel that. You can no
They
longer
canceled it. I
get
can no longer.
citizenship. Okay. All right.
So can you, what are you to do with that? So I'm open. You have to remain open that anything changes. Anything can go back. It could be different. And or you can border hop. Then also I asked God, I said, so I have to lean into my deepest fear. My deepest fear is what if I lose my income, which is now Social Security? What am I going to do? So, like many that are facing like me, what would we do if we lose our Social Security? So I kept asking Spirit, how can I rectify this situation? Well, I had to go into creation. We have to create something. We all have had experiences to create something, to take care of ourselves. R&E is gone. The regularization program is gone. My goal is to create something that women like us who have chronic illnesses and or who are on Social Security can purchase and buy into and survive for themselves and not totally depend on Social Security because Social Security is limiting. You're in need as soon as it comes because it's gone. So I want to show women, help women to get their own, to chat with them, get to find out what is it that they like to do and create something for them that they can sell for themselves, their own thing. And it is in that how we own our lives and own ourselves. That's what I intend to do. And then therein, with something, if once I create something, I can possibly, and with it more assuredly, but be a what you call a recipient for the next available slot, which is a financial requirement for getting not citizenship, temporary citizenship in
Temporary
America.
residency. And then that's
Temporary,
like over like $4,000 a month you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I
So
know
right
I'm
now,
doing it.
since that RNE is not active because things can always change, you
Yes,
are on the 180-day visa.
yep,
And you're gonna do a border run to Panama and then start another 180 days. Okay, got you.
yes.
The other question that they have, and I know you and I already spoke about that, people really want to know when they're trying to move to a country. First of all, why did you choose it? And we talked about that. You like the heat and the people, and there is the expat community. And the second one is the visa process. We just went over that. And then, uh-oh. And
Can you
then,
hear me? Can you hear me?
there we go. No, I can hear you. Sometimes my
Okay,
screen goes off.
okay, no
Uh,
worries.
And then people want to know the cost of living situation. They want to know, how do you find an apartment? If you're in an apartment, what is, the food prices, transportation? How do you get around? That's why you say you've been here since February, so that's over a month.
Yes, yes.
So tell
So
us, how is the
let me
transition?
tell you. Well, when I came here in June, I was staying in a hotel in
Okay,
Merida, in
okay,
Merida, and I love the space. I'm in it right now. Is single bed, It's nice, and the hotel is also attached to the mall at the Ibis, and allow you to walk around. So I have the
In the
space,
cool weather.
and yes, in the cool weather, in the coolness of the day, and
Cool
the,
place. Yes.
yes, this space is enough for me to walk around and get my steps in. I love it because the people, you always see people, and it's attached. The hotel is inside the mall. So if I don't want to go
Oh,
outside, I'm also inside. The mall is massive, and I have that space to get my steps. So see it as a win-win. Now, the food is interesting.
oh,
No flavor to the food. However, it's a
really?
blessing.
People keep saying the food is so great.
I think depends on which state you go in. I'm in Merida, and
Oh,
the food is not seasoned. However, I don't need the seasoned food. I did
yeah.
bring me some Old Bay, but you don't need it because I find what I find. I'm so grateful that it forces you to drink water. It forces you to eat something different that you need to heal your body. So I don't need meat. I don't need meat, so I'll eat all these vegetables, these strange
Yeah.
things. I'll eat it to heal my body. This is about
Okay.
healing my body, so I'm making sure that I do that. And I'm also leaning in and making sure I complain about nothing.
So you've decided to stay in the hotel, but you were telling me about finding an apartment. People
Yes,
want to know a little bit about
yes,
the costs.
yes.
Yeah.
So the apartment took my entire Social Security check. So I decided I did not, I mean, I'm sorry, the hotel. So I decided I wanted to do something differently. I wanted to live now. Um, I decided next month to take a Airbnb and live in that space in the real Mexico, to see where the people of Mexico live, so I can embrace with the culture, talk with the
Right.
culture, and see how they really live, and be in that community and walk around.
Mhm.
And then after that, as I shared with Maggie, I'm going to live in an ashram. I'm going to live where you serve other people, cultures, where there's yoga, there's breathing, there's teaching, and I get to extend my services to them, and they share it with me. And I'm looking forward to that because I see a lot of Americans or people from other countries come here and still want to live as if you're living in the States. I don't want to live like I'm living in the States.
So
I
the one you mentioned is, I'm sorry, is this like an organization, like an NGO, or is it
Yes, yes, it's
okay?
like it's not only is it an NGO, is I found it on, what do you call it's a paid program. You pay to get on their site. It's like I think Stephanie Perry mentioned it one
Is it like
time.
a flex job kind of thing?
It's not a flex job. It's you're volunteering. It's a volunteer space.
Okay. They
You get
have
to
work away and they have some
Yes,
other
yes, it's
ones.
like a workaway type thing, and it allow you to have the experience of not only living in Merida, being with the people of Merida. You work, um, yeah, I get that experience. And when I told someone they want that experience as well, they would teach you Spanish. I just want the experience of living in this space. I've said in my meditations that I want to learn how to live in the unknown. I want to be in the unknown space. It's not my business to know what's going to happen next. It's not my business to know how everything lays out because we can plan our lives. That's fine. We can plan what we can do for the day to day, but the direct detail, I don't need that. As long as I
Okay.
know that spirit has me.
Okay. So you don't really have a way to tell the ladies what maybe like a one-bedroom apartment would cost them per month
Yeah, you
because
can
you're in the
really.
hotel. What is the range?
Yeah, the range. I'm in a
In
hotel,
Maryland,
so
I know it would be different
yes,
somewhere else.
yes. For a bedroom, one bedroom, you can find something for as low as 275 a month, or you can go as high as you want. It is totally up to you. It is up to you. You have the power to get what you want. However, you have to be careful who you work through. And I think I was sharing with Maggie, I saw 3 different apartments. One apartment I saw, that was 275, which is a great price. Most people can handle that. But
Right.
however, there were some things I had to accept. There were some things I was not willing. I was not willing to be in an apartment where the doorknob wasn't right. I wasn't willing to be in an
You
apartment.
get what you pay for, right?
Mhm. Yes. And the bathroom toilet was too close to the wall. Y'all, that would have been a problem. That's a problem. My knees going through the wall. However, and with that and the doorknob, that was a problem for me. However, this is Mexico and this is how things happen. And I know it can be fixed, but I just was kind of unsure of how how things would happen for me. Then I saw a beautiful apartment. However, because I was from the United States, I knew I was being gringoed. As soon as I got in there, they wanted an extra $100, and they
Yeah.
said, "Well, we're building on the site," and blah blah blah. So I knew I didn't get upset. I knew that that wasn't for me. There are I saw some beautiful apartments, some beautiful spaces and places. You just have to be aware that you're going to pay um, 1 month security, 1 month rent, an additional month because you're not a citizen of United
So
of
it's three months they need.
3 months plus you have to pay for some places. They will ask for a guarantee fee. You will need someone to guarantee. So that guarantee fee is the
Like a
guarantee.
Mexican? Like a
Yes,
Mexican or it could be somebody
yes,
else?
yes.
Ah,
Um, so really,
okay.
it's 4 monthly fees, and it's just an amazing process. I don't complain about it. One, you can't fight it. You're in somebody else's country. It is
Mhm.
what it is. However, there are some amazing, beautiful spaces here. I can
About
get
like 800, 1,000?
Oh,
Would that be
800, you can get what you want. And it can look
mhm,
like, if you want it to look like an American, you can get that too. I
mhm,
right not even 30 minutes from here, I've seen the most beautiful two-bedroom apartment with air, and most of them have air,
mhm.
refrigerators and everything. It's just beautiful. You just have to look around when you speak to people and engage with people. You also ask, where do you live? You know how to do it. Where do you live? How's the pricing here?
Of course,
They're
of
eager
course.
to share it. They're eager to
Okay.
share that. Hmm.
And I had read also that in Merida, because the heat is so intense, that most of the apartments do not include AC. I mean, they have AC, but you got to pay for it separately.
Yeah, so you look for all of those things in your rent. I want everything included. Um, and or if it's not included, I want to see it somewhere. So the apartment that I went to that had the issue with the bed, now it had a great ceiling fan and great air conditioning. Some things will have that, and if you're single and living by yourself, and you want, some people don't. I know I did not want a 1 bedroom house or a 2 bedroom house because it's too much space. Honey, they give you the space, and it's beautiful. Most of them are, a lot of Mexican houses are cement, and then you can find some that are
Yeah,
not, well, Americanized. They're beautiful.
cool.
You just have to look around and give yourself space and time. You have to ask people and look around. But there are
Yeah,
people who are scammers that will say they can help you when they can't really help you. And
yeah,
when
you
they
got to
say,
be
well,
careful.
yes, they'll say, well, that apartment had just closed. It's because you don't trust an American to show you Mexican houses. They're not going to
Yeah,
find them for you.
yeah.
Go to a Mexican. Go to a
Okay. So you at the hotel where you are, do they provide your meals or do you go to the mall and buy food?
I'm in the hotel Ibis. Your breakfast is included. It's a typical Mexican breakfast, and it's filling. And I don't eat anymore after breakfast. There's no need to. You have wonderful Mexican breakfast with eggs either with peppers in them. Um, there's not really a lot of meat. You have a lot of vegetables, and it's a different way of living. And I said, well, if it's a lot of vegetables, that means I'm going to lose some weight. I got excited about that. You have, you have your juices, you have breads, you have muffins, you have pancakes. You just embrace it, and
So yeah, but so you have breakfast. So if you were to go to one of those restaurants at the mall, since you close, and you wanted to get dinner without meat, what would the cost of that be? $5,
Um,
$8?
I say, I would say you can spend Mexican money. You can spend 200 pesos, which is really like $10 for a
Okay.
good meal. And for most part, I've wasted so much food because I take 2 bites and I don't
And
want
you
any more.
go, yeah.
I ordered a slice of pizza. I thought it was a slice of pizza. They gave me a whole piece. I said, "Who gonna eat all this? Who want to eat all this?" It was
Ah,
it was so much. Made a sandwich for me. It had four
yeah.
slices of bread and all this meat. I I'm like, I can't. I'm a baby. I can't eat all of this. But they're really pride in their
Mhm.
food and how
Oh,
they
yeah,
serve
they take
it.
pride in their food.
I
Okay.
eat I eat because I'm healing in my healing space. I my mango juice. I walk down to the fruterias and I get my juices. I'm addicted now to what do you call that juice? Oh my goodness, cucumber lemon juice. My God,
Yum.
oh, I'm
Okay.
addicted to. Yeah,
All
yeah. I'm
right. So
just
that's great information, Greta. Let's um let's talk about the sisterhood because that's
yes,
important to somebody who is a single older lady. And I don't know if
yes,
you've had any experience with the healthcare. If we have time, it's already an hour. Just tell us about how the sisterhood, how do you feel about sisters supporting each other in case
yes,
somebody was single and wanting to consider
yes,
going to Merida? I hear a lot of things about Merida, but I see a lot
yes,
of young people there. So what
yes.
about people our ages?
There's a lot of people our age, y'all. They're coming down. I stand on the escalator every day looking. When I see one, I will chase you, make you say hello, and get on the camera and let's talk. I love the fact that there are a lot of us coming down from all over the world. Lot of sisters, older sisters, a lot of married couples. But yes, I cling to a lot of single sisters who are exploring life in a different way here in Merida. They are here. They are coming. They embrace each other. They have a sisterhood in sports, and every Saturday the sisterhood, not just the sisterhood, the brethren and their family too, come together just to have community, to support
Yeah,
each other, and to say that we're here. Whatever you need,
and
it is
relax.
here.
Oh,
Yes,
good. All right, so there is sisterhood. The food is good. You bring your own seasoning.
yes.
Housing, you get what you pay for. Be
You get
aware
what
of
you pay for.
sharing. That
And I'm
happens
telling you,
everywhere.
there are some houses here that are so beautiful, you will have a mouth opening. Your mouth will just drop because a lot of people think, oh, Mexicans, they're not going to do it the way we do it. You're going to be surprised.
So
Whatever you want, you can
is it
find.
best to work with a real estate agent than
Yes,
somebody who
I
knows
would say
somebody?
that. Work with
Okay.
somebody who knows, or if you meet someone, just ask them. They are willing to tell you.
Who did you use to get your apartment? Yeah, that's what I do. We just, if a sister said, "Oh, I used so and so and it was great," then we add because we have a resource list
Yes,
of guides. People can just, but they have to be vetted. Okay.
yes.
Well, any surprises about Mexico that you were not ready for?
I think the biggest surprise I had about Mexico that I wasn't surprised because I decided that I was not based on the US. There are no surprises. I take it. Hmm,
I hear you.
don't make me. I
No, we don't
take
need to go there. We got you.
Yes, I take everything, and I'm so grateful to have the experience to experience this because it does not have to be this way. I accept everything. This is a new country. This is not the
That's
US.
right.
So
That's
I don't
right.
expect anything in the US. I want to help them as much as they want to help me. And every morning when I walk, I just scream, "Hola!" I'm gonna scream you down. How you doing? You gonna talk to me? See me? So now they're so used to this black girl with this hair, and you
With
hit
the
me.
booth.
A man, he came running to me. He said, "You here in Magda?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here." He said, you walk around every morning? Yeah, I walk around. You work every morning? Well, we gonna see each other. He said, I know speak English. I said, I don't speak Spanish, Espanol. I said, we gonna do our best. I hold my Google Translate and make it work. If you have a phone, you can make it work.
That was a question that was in the chat. Like
Yes.
people ask, "Oh, do you need to speak Spanish, or do you feel you can get by without speaking Spanish?"
You can get by without speaking Spanish. However, I have a plug. I'm taking not only am I uh learning it through, I'm going to learn it through Maggie, but I also look at how I communicate every day with everyone. And then I go and Google it and research it. And I watch how I express myself with others. And I ask them, show me how to say this. I learned the other day,
Ask them
perfecto.
to correct you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, because they're so kind, they won't. But if they see you as a friend, I embrace them all as a friend. I'm always tipping. The person that comes in my room and cleans my room, I am so grateful for that person fixing my bed the way it is. I make sure I say, here's cocoa money. Here's they think it's so funny. And it's just, then I get him to show me, how do I say this? How did I say this to you? He said, good morning, Greta. But because they want to practice as much as
They're
you want,
with English.
yes,
Yes, yes.
as much as you want to speak Spanish, they want to learn
Yeah,
how to speak
that could
English.
be difficult because they want to practice, you want to practice, so it's
Yes,
like.
yes,
So when you're in a community like Merida, where you have so many foreigners, I think sometimes I'm thinking it might be um, not difficult, but it may not help you to improve your language because you're always hanging around expats, or when you go to the store, they want to impress upon you that they can say a few words in English.
yes.
So what do people do to really improve their Spanish over there?
I think what I see and hear, people take classes and then they just ask, like there's a young lady downstairs, she wants to improve her English. I said, well, use me. Let me hear. I said, you sound great. And I want to practice Spanish. So I say, "Oye, I said, hola, habla español? She said, sí. And then she said, you sound good. I said, and we just hug each other and get it out. And I say, I'll come back down tomorrow morning and give you
Yeah.
another class. People want to learn. Allow yourself to share yourself with somebody.
Yes,
They want to
yes.
learn. Yeah.
Have you encountered any negatives from the locals? Because, like the other day, I was reading that in Ghana, in one day, they said they had 250 African American people descend. I mean, people are just, you know, and
Yeah.
there was an article a few months back about gentrification, how some of the locals were feeling about it. Have you felt any of that?
I've seen some of the other people that have come down here, the white people. I've seen some horrible gestures, but I'm
Oh,
telling you, the Mexicans here in Merida are so kind. They know. They are so kind and warm and welcoming. They just know that it's for a little while, and they will engage with those because they know it's not long term. And
yeah.
I saw one with my eye treat one in a not so nice way. So I just got up, I went over to the person, I hugged them, and I made sure that I gave them a couple of pesos and went our way because they don't make that much, y'all. They don't make that much, but I'm so grateful that they served me because years ago we treated them horribly. You don't
Hmm.
think you don't think that we did, but we treated them horribly. All they wanted to do was to survive. All they wanted to do was bring money home to their family
That's
because
right.
we were in the United States. We thought we were entitled and nothing wrong would happen to us, and here we are today. Here we are today, running to Mexico to have a safe life, to have a night of good sleep. Here I am running to Mexico, let it to be my savior. Here I am running to Mexico, embracing their language, and they're still being treated horribly, and they are still embracing us with kindness and
Yeah,
love.
we are blessed. I think I would say the same thing about Panama. I get
Yes.
people asking me, how are the locals feeling about everything that's happening? I said the locals know it's not us.
Yeah.
So we don't
No.
have any, we don't feel any kind of resentment or whatever towards us.
Yeah.
I have not. All right, so I think now we can answer some questions. I definitely wouldn't want the live to go past hour and a half. So if you ladies or whoever's in the chat, if you have any questions for me, because I'm in Panama, you have any question for Greta, that would be the time to ask. Again, I apologize for Marcia not being here. She was usually I try to have maybe two, three people so we can kind of do a like quick comparison, but she couldn't
Yeah.
be here. I'm sure she'll be here next time. So, I mean, I for me, I would say I came to see the canal and I decided to retire early. And then every time I came back to Panama, the connection felt stronger.
Mm.
And I wasn't looking for a place that was close to home per se, because I flew all the way to Ghana and I thought I was gonna go to Ghana, start a business. I'm a nurse practitioner. I looked at maybe opening an assisted living or some kind of a program for the parents of expats living away, like Ghanaians living in
Yes.
the
Yes.
West who have their older parents at home,
Beautiful.
someone to care for them. So, what I did when I went there in 2021, after I recovered from COVID, I I did like what we call an internship. I found a lady who was a Ghanaian expat living in London, and what she does, she hooks up people from the diaspora who wanted to return home. She would pair you with a business based on, what kind of work that you did, and then so you can get it was a way for you to test the waters to see if you could go back home doing the things that you were doing. But I'm all the way in the US. So there was a fee, but she hooked me up with the hospital in Ghana. So I was there for 3 weeks, and for 3 weeks, I went into that hospital and I was just looking around. I was asking questions just to see about the healthcare system. And after talking to people and everything, I was like, the structure was going to be so challenging. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to work. So when I came back to Panama to retire, I went to Rwanda. I did not connect either. So it was like, come back to Panama. So I did my due diligence in the sense that I came several times. I felt the connection to the country. In
Yes.
fact, I just spoke to another lady earlier this morning. She's a nurse practitioner too, and she said the same thing. She said, I wanted to go to Costa Rica, Portugal, and Panama. Those were her top three, which, if you're looking to find a country based on your likes and
Yes.
dislikes, must haves, sometimes you bring it down to three or two. And that's where you start doing the scouting to see, okay, whatever I'm researching, does it match when I'm there? Is this the real thing? So, and then she said she went to Costa Rica and she didn't feel the connection like I didn't feel the connection, in Africa. But she said she came to Panama. She said it was instant.
Yes.
When you know, right?
And
So
yes.
that's how I ended up here.
Yes. I know that Merida is sacred. The Yucatan is sacred. There's a reason for it being sacred. And this is not a place that I would just arbitrarily wake up and decide to come to. You have to be called to come here. It's a
Yes.
calling. It's
The
a calling.
spirit calls you.
Yes, it's a calling. This place, the Yucatan, for it to heal me, the sacred land, the sacred food, and the sacred people. There's a spirit in every place, but there's a spirit that rests upon Merida that's healing. I don't know what it is, but you can heal yourself just by embracing the culture. Don't question it.
Yes. Just accept it.
Everything about you will begin to peel off like an onion. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your concepts. You will begin to know you. Perhaps Merida may not be your lasting place, perhaps it's a place for you to pass through to pull all of those onion skins off of you so the real you can be seen. It's time to be
Well,
seen.
yes. And also, you can't afford to dismiss that connection, right?
That's right.
Because it it goes beyond rent and climate. You have
Yes.
to see yourself in the place and be
Yes.
with people. And I think for Panama, I'm speaking for Panama, when you land here, I'm telling you, I talk about to tons of people, and they'll tell you the moment they land, it's just like the
Yes.
weight of the world falls
Yes.
off. Your
Yes.
shoulders, you
Yes.
relax. People talk about starting to sleep better, and you can say it's spiritual or whatever. But to
Yes.
go back to Merida, also, I think Merida is listed as being the second safest city in either Mexico or Central South America. I don't know, but apparently it's a really safe place for people to be.
Yes. I told my before I left Baltimore, Maryland, I had to speak at my church, and I told my pastor that I'm winting. He said, "What's that?" I said, "Scripture says that the divine said to the man that was a leopard, Spirit says, go, and as you go, you will be healed.
You will be
Everything
healed.
about you, everything about you will start peeling off." So he went. So I tell people, I'm winting. I'm winting. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
going. I'm just going. I'm not saying I don't have plans. Yeah, I have plans. I
Mm-hmm.
have things that I want to do, but I'm wanting as you go towards a thing, that thing opens up itself to you as you go towards it. Be
Mm-hmm.
open.
That's true. And it's a faith walk, right?
Yes.
You
Yes.
don't want to be healed
Yes.
before you start
Oh
moving.
God, no.
You
Because
move, and
you
as
move.
you move, you
It's
get
the
healed.
healing.
And this
Yep.
is the same thing as relocation. You got to start doing something,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
things will start happening.
Because Merida is not my forever home. God wants
Yeah.
to see, I believe the spirit, the divine wants to see, are you going to hear the call? It's a
Mhm.
calling. And then are you going to start walking? Because it's
Yes,
not my final
that's true.
place. It's not your final
Yes.
place. Who knows where that's going to be? But I want spirit to see me saying yes to everything that's coming my way. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
accept it and I take it. I say yes
Hmm.
to.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you want to share with us, Greta?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Anything else I want to share that I'm currently working on my ebook on healing from the pain site. I'm working on that. Oh, okay. I'm working on that. I'm working on two other ebooks as well, so I can launch them all together. And I'm working, and I say thank you to Maggie with this. I'm working on launching my YouTube channel, Sacred,
Yay.
Sacred Rebel. Doing all of this and living like this, it's a sacredness to it. And when as we older gals get older and move forward with our life, we're not interested in the things that most people are interested in. We're interested in this journey, this beautiful journey of living in this age with all of our everything that comes with this age, our illnesses, our diseases, our life transitions, everything that comes with it, we're able to share it. So I want to embrace all of that, and not only embrace all that, share it, be a great blessing, not only to our own kind, but also to those that don't look like us, as our Mexican brothers and sisters, because they're going to be the ones serving us. So we want to serve them. I want to serve them in kind. I'm looking forward to launching something soon with that, and just about to. I want to help people to be comfortable with who they are, as I'm now comfortable with who I am. And if I can do that, help them become comfortable with who they are, the fear of this thing whatever the thing is, whether it be Social Security, sickness, illness, living in the United States, the fear will be removed. And
Mhm.
I'm excited
That's
about that.
such a good word. That's such a good word because, I am naturally a risk taker, but not
Yes.
everybody is like that, right? When you start a business, you go into the unknown. And I used to do consultation for people, and I say, if you want to have a regular paycheck, don't start a business because it's like you living in the unknown and you embracing the unknown and you
Yeah.
embracing the change and the challenges.
Oh,
And
no.
then moving abroad is the same thing.
I had to put my church finger up. I had to put my church up. You said something before I came to Merida.
What did I
I
say?
said, I'm ready. I'm ready to live in the unknown. It is none of your business or what's about to happen. Just embrace what comes to you guys. And it's a beautiful experience. We don't know when our life is going to end, but at least you took a chance on yourself and lived differently. I'm not rich, y'all. I just got faith. My faith is my currency. You can
They
do
say
this.
you're inspiring. You're inspiring, Greta.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. I can't see all the chats. We'll see each other on Sunday on Maggie's channel.
There
But
you
I'm
go.
telling
You
you
gotta
all,
come cook.
yes, yeah, cooking and eating. I let me tell you all, let's embrace each other and support each other in love and in kind, because you never know who it is that's going to push you to the next level.
That's
Always
right.
having your mind that I want to help somebody. And the moment you want to help somebody, you're helping yourself.
You're helping yourself. You got it. That's the word.
Woo!
Is the
Yeah,
word.
that's
Don't
the word.
always be looking inward. Just always lend a hand. And my mother used to say that. She said, when you do something for someone, never expect anything in return. The universe
Expect
will
nothing is
return it
love.
to you. It's like, if I do this for you, can you do this for me? Because that's when you get disappointed if somebody doesn't respond
Yes,
in kind. But if you just do
yes.
it just because, you just send it to the
That's right.
universe blesses you in ways that my experiences.
Yes,
I get blessed in ways that are so far out. I was like, where did that come from? I never expected that. But that's how God works in my life. That when I do something for someone, I just do it. Whether it's money, time, food, whatever it is, you just do it. And then blessings come. It's like, oh my God. And then that's the law of nature, though. Give
yes.
and it shall be given to you. You don't know where it's
You don't
coming
know
from, but it
where.
shall be given to you. All right,
You
Miss
don't
Greta,
know.
you're frozen again, but I think we're getting ready to kind of log off.
Okay,
Very
can you hear me?
welcome, Kathy, Joel, all of you who came in the chat to listen to this inspiring lady. Her story, I mean, I was like, oh, my little heart was just, I mean, two strokes, blind an eye, but you know what? What is your excuse? If she can do it,
No excuse.
living by faith is, and I'm sure she didn't start that way. It's a process for you to get to that point where
Yes,
you could say, I'm going to move forward even though I don't have all the answers. Even
yes.
though I don't see everything is not just laid out, nicely, but you moving by faith, like she said. The secret is in the walk, in the
Ah,
move,
yes,
right? So
yes.
let's just keep it there. Any last word, Miss Greta, Miss Inspiring Lady?
Oh, thank you. I will tell everyone, trust what you feel. Stop judging yourself. Give yourself a
I
chance.
like that one. Stop judging yourself.
Stop
Mm,
judging yourself. Give yourself a chance to succeed,
mhm,
even if you don't know where the money's going to come from, even
mm,
if you can't
mm,
see where you're going, even
mhm,
if no one supports you, even if you don't know what to do, even if you're blind, even
mhm,
if you have had strokes,
mhm.
do it. Lean into what you want to do, lean into your dream, and allow you leaning in and going to sleep and feeling, allow God to give you instructions on how to unfold all of that. Trust what you feel. You can do it. Even if you're in speaking to someone in their dark place, even if you're in a dark place, you can do it. If you're in
Yeah,
your dark night of the soul, write down what you're feeling. Find somebody that could speak to you and hold your hand while you go from one step to the next.
that's right. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think this was a great, it
Yes,
was time well spent.
yes.
We really are committed to loving on each other, supporting
Hmm.
each other. So, Greta, everybody's waiting for that channel whenever you have it up. You have to let us know. I can have you back. You can talk about
Yes,
the channel, what you're doing on it,
yes,
because it's work. I want you to know having
yes,
a YouTube channel is work, but
yes,
once you have your message and your audience, it makes it a lot easier. So,
yes,
best, I wish you the best. And if there's anything I can do to help you on the journey, just let me know.
yes. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All
Sending
right,
love
guys.
to everybody.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next month. Hopefully, I don't know exactly who we're going to have on, but it's going to be somebody from another country that we can compare and contrast so that we can learn, what's happening. Okay?
Yes.
All right, guys, you have a beautiful day. God loves you. I love
Thank
you.
you all.
Bye. Au
Bye.
revoir. Bye bye. Putting one foot in front of the other. It can be hard, but you can do
Yep.
it. Bless you out. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Just keep moving. You got to move. Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye. Beautiful.